I'm Kelly Hilton, Director of Technology for the San Ramon Valley Unified School District located in the East Bay of California. Before stepping into this role, I was a classroom teacher, and I use that experience as a classroom teacher to really help make decisions every single day as an IT director. But these days, my classroom looks a little bit differently. I lead a team of 44 professionals in the technology department, and together we support 36 school sites in San Ramon. Our support spans from daily technical support to instructional support, data integration and governance, as well as infrastructure, network, and cybersecurity. But at the core, our purpose hasn't changed because whether I'm in the classroom or I'm as an IT director working at the district level, either way, we're creating safe environments for our students where they can learn and thrive. When you think about our schools, we do everything we can to keep students safe. We check in visitors. We have practice fire safety drills. We maintain our campuses so that students can learn in a safe and secure and cared for place in the physical world. However, here's a question I want you to think about. Are we creating that same level of safety every time our students log into a device? Because today, learning doesn't just happen on the physical campus, it also happens in this digital space. And just like we have a school-wide safety plan, we also need a digital classroom safety plan. So that's why I want to talk to you today about 4 key laws that guide this work that we need to be aware of as we're designing our digital spaces to keep students safe. The first one is FERPA, the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. COPPA, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. SIPA, the Children's Internet Protection Act. And SOPIPA, the Student Online Personal Information Protection Act. First, let's talk about FERPA. When I was a student, my teacher used to mail home a report card or schedule a meeting with my parents to talk about my progress as a student. And that documentation of my learning was very private. It stayed between myself, my teacher, and my parents. However, today we have many digital systems that are tracking this progress of student learning. We have student information systems that have grades and access to student records. We have digital classrooms like Google Classroom or Schoology or Canvas that are tracking the digital assignments that students are doing every day. And we have our online assignments. This is creating a continuous digital footprint that each student's learning journey. So now I want you to pause and think about this for a minute. What if your third grade work, when you were in your early years, what if your early ideas, your struggles as a learner, or maybe your behavior was shared beyond that trusted space between home and school? Not intentionally, but it was. And that is exactly what the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act is about. That's why it exists. FERPA protects our student records and it protects our student grades and makes sure that everything remains safe and secure. So, what does this mean? In San Ramon, we take this responsibility seriously. We've established a clear data governance practices, which include defining lists that determine who has access in our student information system and who can see different information and why, based on your role as a staff member. Access is limited. Those permissions are intentional and then they're also transparently shared out. We also hold staff accountable through a responsible use agreement and ongoing education regarding best practices. For example, we train the staff on how to use secure methods to share information, how to avoid unnecessary downloads of sensitive data that's on a device instead of in the online database, and how to protect student data as if it was our own. And we ensure that all of these systems, staff are required to multi-factor authenticate so that they are secure and it improves our security posture. Because at the end of the day, really respecting student data is about respecting our students. Second law, COPPA, it focuses on like age appropriate access. So when you think about age appropriate access, think about going to a movie. You wouldn't let a student go to a rated R movie. If they're in elementary school, we have ratings in order to protect the students or the people who are watching a movie. And that's the same as COPPA. So we think about what do we need to do in order to make sure that this is the right rating of a tool for a student. In San Ramon, what we do is any tool that asks a student to sign in with their Google account, we ask the staff member to pause before asking students to sign in, and they need to check our public facing digital tool list, which is a list of tools that are already approved. And then if there's a tool or a web page that they want to go to that isn't already approved, there is a process for staff members to request access to that website. What we do in the IT department, once a digital tool is requested, is we review it for age appropriateness, we evaluate what data is collected by that tool, and then we establish a data privacy agreement with that vendor. Until this process is complete, the tool is blocked. No student can access it. Because just like we wouldn't hand a child a rated R movie or take them to a rated R movie, we don't give them digital tools without understanding what they're being exposed to and what data is being collected. The third law I want to talk about today is CIPA. And CIPA focuses on creating a safe environment. It's called the Children's Internet Protection Act. And this law ensures that schools filter harmful or inappropriate content on the web browser. Just like school is different than home in a physical world, there are more filters in place based on age and role in the web browser content. In San Ramon, we have a layered system of filters. We have a firewall with protections that has categories that we block that block things like games or violence or things we don't want our students to be able to search on the internet. The second layer is a role-based Wi-Fi access. In San Ramon, students have their own internet access that is just by that they are a student. And then staff have a different Wi-Fi access. We also have a second layer of filtering. It's called Securely, where we can get a little more granular in the way that we filter tools. Our organization has an elementary and a middle and a high school category. So for some tools, we allow more access for high school or for middle school, depending on the age, because our philosophy is to get the students progressively more exposed to content so that when they do have all exposure outside of school, they are prepared for that. And Securely also offers a layer of filtering at the classroom level, where a classroom teacher can choose whether or not a website is appropriate for their instruction. These layers work together to create this digital safe environment. But our goal is not just restriction, it's really preparation and helping students know where they should be able to access tools. This takes a lot of partnership with staff because it moves around and changes quite frequently. So we just have a way to document all of our filters, and then we make adjustments or tweaks as necessary. The final law I want to talk about is called SOPIPA. This is about protecting students from exploitation. We do not want students to access web browsers that have ads and junk all over in the sidelines so that they're being influenced by commercialism. We really want our digital space to be like a digital textbook that is safe and protected with this least amount of bias that we can provide. This law is also making sure that the companies that we purchase for EdTech tools, or that we allow our students log into their web browser, they don't sell student data, they don't target students with ads, and they don't build profiles for non-educational purposes. So what this looks like is we have strong data privacy agreements with our vendors. We review their practices, and we block tools that don't meet those expectations. We also set very clear boundaries, like there is no social media that is on our district access available. And then we have tiered access for tools like YouTube, where there tend to be a lot of ads, but it's tiered based on the age of the students. We ensure that any AI tools that students or staff have access to, do not use the information put into the AI in order to train their tool, because we don't want that to be them tracking collecting and tracking their data. So when you step back and you think about these 4 laws, they're not just policies. They're our digital safety plan. They're our digital North Star. And just like on a school campus where every adult shares the responsibility of students being safe on a school campus, in the digital world, that responsibility belongs to all of us. Every tool we approve, every setting we configure, every decision we make, it all adds up to the environment of our student learning experience. So I'll leave you with this. Every time a student logs in, they are entering a space that we designed. And the question is it safe? Because when we get that right, we don't just protect our systems, we are protecting our students, and we create the conditions for them to truly learn and thrive.